Well, hey guys, welcome to Solar Cabin Channel. I've got a small power station here to review. This power station is made by Browey, that's B-R-O-W-E-Y. And I agreed to review this because it has some unique features. For one thing, you can tell the shape is different. Let me show you this. It is shaped differently, and it is designed more specifically for people that want to take something like this camping, because it comes with an arm or a shoulder strap, so you can carry this along on your side. But I thought it would also be useful for people that may be using tools outside and you want to carry this around, because it has a handle on it and it also has this carrying strap. Now this is a 300 watt power station, so it'll handle things like RV fridges, the 12 volt fridges like I use here all the time. It also handles lots of DC appliances. It does have the dedicated cigarette plug style 12 volt outlet on it. It has one AC outlet for 110 volt over here. It also has the USB ports for USB-C and USB-A on it, and it can be charged 5 different ways. And they actually include the cables. Some of these don't include the cables. So this can be charged up from AC, and they include a small charger. They include this case with it. Comes with the small charger, and it can be charged from DC from your car. It can be charged from a solar panel. It says it can be charged from an AC adapter, which they include in here. It can be charged from 20 volt 5 amp USB-C. It can be charged from an AC, 60 watt AC adapter. And it can be charged from a car outlet, or it can be charged from a DC solar panel. And this is a size, because of this shape and this style, this might be a good unit for people that are taking it traveling or camping or for tailgating or something like that. 300 watts, 288 amp hours, 288 watt hours. Will actually power your appliances for quite a while. I'm going to test this with my 45 watt 12 volt fridge to see how long it will run on that. It came charged up to 80%, which you can see there. It's got a switch down here that controls the main display. Then it's got a switch here for your DC, and it's got a switch here for your AC, and you can turn them all off. And it will read what your charge is going out for your DC or for your AC. And then down here is kind of interesting. I've never seen a power station with this, a temperature gauge that reads in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. And then below that, this is interesting, it has a humidity gauge. So you could kind of use this with if you've got an emergency system set up with radios and you're running your laptop or something like that off of it. You could also use this to read your temperature and your humidity wherever you're at. So that's kind of interesting. I've never seen one of those on a power station before. It does come with this kind of a leatherish type of strap. You can remove that. It's got some snaps on the back if you want to remove this. It has a little pouch here. I'm not exactly sure what you would put in that. Maybe one of your cables that you're going to use or something like that. It has the AC slot. It has the DC port, USB. It has 2 USB. It has 3 DC outlet ports on the front of it here, and it has 2 USB-A and 2 USB-C ports down below that. So it has enough connections here that it will run pretty much anything that you want to run it for. It does have the emergency light, and it has the low and high beam, and it has the flashing strobes and the fast flashing strobes. Okay folks, so I've got this Browey power station connected, and I'm using the DC cigarette plug because I want to see if this unit will stay on. Some of these power stations have a real problem with the DC unit kicking off, or with the DC power kicking off, and then your fridge doesn't stay running. This one seems to stay on. That's really good. So I'm looking at seeing how long this will run it with an 80% charge, and it seems the DC seems to be staying on, and it shows that it's pulling approximately 36 watts. When this is running, it generally pulls between 35 and 40 to 45 watts. Depending on how long it has to run. So we'll see how long this runs it at 80%. But so far, I'm happy that the DC plug on this is staying on. Some power stations don't do that. Okay guys, so I tested this Browey 300 watt power station with my Alpacool C20 fridge. It pulls about 45 watts when it's running. It runs intermittently, and it ran it for a good 11 hours at 80%. This only had 80% in it when I started it. It ran it for a good 11 hours. So I know it will run it for about 12 hours, which is really good. That's what I would expect, and that shows that the batteries are the 288 watt hours that it claims. And will run, this would be good for like camping if you're taking one of those 12 volt fridges with you camping, or if you're using it in a vehicle or something like that, or if you're taking it for a day trip or something like that. Now the other test that I want to do, I want to see exactly if the inverter is a 300 watt inverter, and the way to test that, I'm going to use a 300 watt appliance, and I'm going to use my Dash mini griddle. A lot of people, if you have one of these, this is an appliance. If you don't have one, you might want to go look at these, because these are great little mini griddles. I'm going to cook an egg on it. And this runs at 300 watts. So if it will run this, it should run any 300 watt appliance. I want to listen to see if the inverter works correctly, and if the fan kicks on like it should, if it starts getting warmed up. And so I'm going to cook me an egg for breakfast right now. Got me a large egg here. So I'm just going to click this on AC, and we'll see if the light comes on. Light comes on here, and it'll start heating up. And this should take about a minute, and it will take about 300 watts. So we'll see how many watts it says it's pulling. And right now it says it is pulling 280 watts. So I'm going to go ahead and put my egg in here, and we'll make sure it cooks up an egg, and then we'll run it for the full time. All right, just close that down. Now this is a great appliance while I'm talking about this and watching this work. These mini dashes are something that I would highly recommend to go with something like this power station, because you can always cook your family a meal. It only takes a couple of minutes, only uses 300 watts, so it's not going to pull a whole lot of power out of the power station. You can cook up your family some eggs, and also works really good for making pancakes, scones, biscuits, anything like that. Really great little appliance. All right, so we'll let that cook for a minute, and then I'll have me an egg sandwich. Okay, so that Dash mini griddle is done now. I'll just flip it up to show you. My egg's completely done. Just took maybe about a minute is all, and it used just about 10% of the battery, because this was completely full. It used about 10% of the battery, so you could run this for 10 times without running this unit down. This would be really good for camping, because you can run your small refrigerators. You can cook yourself a meal. Same thing if you was in a power blackout. It also does have all the lights and everything on it. My impression of it, it does exactly what it says it will do. Has a good battery in it. It is a LiFePO 4 battery. Has enough of the outlets for emergency use, for charging up your communication systems, recharging your phones, recharging your laptops, your tablets. It does come with a nice case that has the cords in it. It does come with the AC. Does come with a small AC transformer. I did charge this up completely and tested that. It charged up in 4.5 hours from AC power. It will take longer than that if you're charging it from your DC, your car, or if you're charging it from solar. But from AC, it took 4.5 hours to recharge up the battery. Really nice unit. I like it. I think I will get a lot of use out of it. This is also a unit I could recommend for a short-term blackout emergency. If you just need to get through an hour or two when the power goes out at your house, you could run a 12-volt fridge and you could get by just fine. All right, again, that is made by Browey. This is the 300-watt model, and on Amazon at a decent price, and I think it's a good unit. All right, have a great day, folks.